Whitney Tilson, a Wall Street veteran with 35 years of experience and a proven track record, has unveiled an exciting investment thesis he calls the U.S. IPO. This strategy centers on a U.S. government initiative to establish a federal sovereign wealth fund by monetizing over $100 trillion in federal assets including land, oil, gas, and critical minerals. Detailed in a recent executive order, this plan aims to unlock these resources through leasing and market transactions, potentially transforming the economic landscape. In this review, we explore Tilson's compelling analysis, the companies poised to benefit, and why investors should act before the Department of the Interior's October 1, 2025 deadline. Tilson's U.S. IPO describes a federal effort to leverage the government's vast holdings, 245 million acres of surface land, which is about 28% of the U.S. land base, 700 million acres of subsurface mineral rights, and 363 million square feet of real estate, including data centers and ports. These assets, valued at over $100 trillion, dwarf the $36 trillion national debt. Key resources include energy reserves, 69 billion barrels of oil, and 229 trillion cubic feet of natural gas in the outer continental shelf, with additional reserves in Alaska. So, let's talk about critical minerals. There's a $1.5 trillion lithium deposit in southeast Oregon, and around 10 million ounces of gold in Cortez, Nevada, worth about $30 billion. And when it comes to underutilized land, only about 2% of offshore and 6% of onshore federal lands are currently leased for resource extraction, which, honestly, leaves a huge amount of untapped potential. The Department of the Interior's 23-page strategic plan, aiming for October 1, 2025, spells out goals to expand oil, gas, and mineral extraction, streamline permitting, and boost revenue from non-energy sources like timber and grazing. Tilson sees this as a historic opportunity, sort of like the wealth-building events of the past, such as the railroad expansion or the shale revolution, all driven by strategic leasing and public-private partnerships. Tilson's research, detailed in 3 exclusive reports, How to Get Your Share of the U.S. IPO, the U.S. IPO Cash Machine, and America's Mineral Powerhouses, identifies companies positioned to capitalize on this initiative. These firms offer diversified revenue streams, reducing the risks typically associated with resource investments. Highlights include Fannie Mae or FNMA, a government-controlled entity potentially set for public listing, with a billionaire investor holding 220 million shares projecting a 250% surge. At roughly $10 per share, it's an accessible entry point. Oil and gas operator manages extensive federal land holdings, with a $900 million project backlog in 2024, poised to benefit from expanded leasing. Permian Basin Company controls 270,000 acres in Texas, generating income from oil, gas, minerals, data centers, and even cryptocurrencies. Recently, a developer shelled out $8 million just to analyze its land. When it comes to rare earth and mineral firms, there's a $6 stock that's in talks for government contracts, and another company boasting an $80 million contract for a critical resource mine on federal land. It's a fascinating time for this sector. Tilson argues that these companies are, well, strategically positioned to thrive as the government leases out federal assets. Early investors are likely to see significant gains before mainstream attention drives up prices after October 1. There are 3 key factors that amplify the potential of what some are calling the U.S. IPO. Strong leadership is at the helm of this initiative, led by experienced figures in the Treasury, Commerce, and Interior departments. Notably, there's an Interior Secretary with a proven track record managing a state-level sovereign wealth fund. Their expertise ensures a disciplined approach to asset monetization. And let's not forget, artificial intelligence is driving energy demand through the roof. Those data centers are consuming electricity on a scale equivalent to entire cities. Quite a dynamic landscape we're looking at. The Department of Energy's plan to build 16 new data centers on public lands has already spurred deals, boosting stocks like Talon Energy, which has actually doubled in a year, and Constellation Energy, up a whopping 450%. October 1st is a big deadline. The Department of the Interior's strategic plan sets October 1st, 2025, as the cutoff for finalizing the monetization framework. Early action is, really critical to capture gains before widespread media coverage. Tilson's investment advisory and commodity supercycle subscriptions, which are available through the link in the description of this video, provide detailed stock recommendations, ticker symbols, and step-by-step buying instructions. Investors can actually start with as little as a few $100s, making this opportunity broadly accessible. The subscription package, which is significantly discounted from its usual $1,000 price, also includes a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can explore the strategy totally risk-free. The reports offer actionable insights. They dive into how to get your share of the U.S. IPO, detailing the top companies likely to benefit. The U.S. IPO cash machine focuses on low-risk firms with steady payouts. Plus, America's mineral powerhouses highlight key players in critical minerals which are vital for AI and defense. Subscribers also receive monthly updates, market analyses, and access to Stansberry's member portal, ensuring they stay informed as the initiative unfolds. The U.S. IPO could reshape the United States economy by reducing the national debt, funding infrastructure, and creating jobs. By monetizing assets owned by American taxpayers, it offers a shared economic benefit, aligning with the principle that these resources are part of the nation's collective wealth. The initiative also strengthens energy independence, reducing reliance on foreign minerals sourced from environmentally and ethically problematic regions. Drawing on models like North Dakota's Sovereign Wealth Fund, the plan prioritizes responsible resource management to balance economic growth with environmental stewardship. With the October 1st deadline approaching, Tilson emphasizes the urgency of acting swiftly. Recent deals, like a mining agreement in Mountain Pass, California, that led to a 37% stock surge, demonstrate the potential for early movers. As media coverage intensifies, stock prices may rise, diminishing returns for late investors. Tilson's proven track record and comprehensive research make this an ideal time to join Stansberry's investment advisory and position for potential gains.